Aries, there are 8 pathways unfolding or that are already available to you. And I feel like you have the opportunity and the possibility to take up more than one of these pathways. So perhaps there's more than one creative opportunity, more than one friendship to build, more than one place to explore and travel to. I'm not sure what it is for everyone. It could even be esoteric pathways. It could be pathways of a healing journey, pathways in your soul, pathways of magic, which is the card that I got for you. And there's something very interesting about your energy because it feels different. And I don't just mean it feels different for Aries. I mean, it just feels different from all the other readings that I did in the last 30 days. You're the last sign I'm reading for in this last 30-day series, I guess. And your energy, it makes sense why you're coming last because your energy is different. It's still. It's contemplative. It's almost like you're taking in all the information around you and considering what you can do with it or what it means. This could be information related to your life, a particular situation. And for some of you, it is esoteric knowledge or occulted knowledge that you're working with. Some of you are really focusing on your spiritual practice or even your intuitive abilities. Some of you have creative projects. There's so much going on, and it could be all of these things all at once. 8 pathways, and I also got the number 19, which is the Sun card. So I feel like you're very supported at this time, and there's a lot of opportunity for growth along these different pathways. And again, I just want to emphasize, it doesn't feel like you need to make a choice. It's either this or that. It's a both and situation. You get to have both or all. So when you speak, be mindful of when you're using but, the word but, and swap it out for the word and. Some of you are well aware that words are very powerful. Our thoughts are powerful. Our words are powerful. Our words are the vibrational resonance of our thoughts that we put out into the universe. So we have to be very mindful of the thoughts that we have and the words we choose to express those thoughts because they create magic. They manifest our reality. So when we introduce the word but into a sentence or to explain a thought that we have or to manifest a future idea or reality into our timeline, we're kind of introducing the concept of exclusion and lack. I can only have this and I can't have that. It's this, but it's not that. Or it's this, but it can't be that. Whatever the but signifies. And Spirit's saying, try to reframe something where you can say, I'm focusing on this right now, and I will focus on this later. So see how you take out the but there, and it changes how you feel, or it changes the energy flow around those ideas that you're cultivating into your reality. Interesting, I'm hearing mysterious. Maybe introduce a little bit of mystery into whatever it is that you're doing. I do feel like there is a lot coming up here. There are things about relationships. I'm just feeling the energy of a partnership come in. So I don't know where this reading is going to go, but just to circle back to something I was going to say about you being the last sign that I'm reading for, one of the messages I got was that you're the last one out of the pool. I don't remember if that was a saying when we were children, but it seems to me like there was like last one out of the pool is and I can't remember what the blank is there. Maybe you can remember what that meant for you or if you've heard that somewhere. But the message I'm getting and this vision I have of you in the pool is one in which you feel like you don't need to conform to anybody's expectations. Just because everybody else leaves the pool doesn't mean you need to. It's almost like you're enjoying the quiet. You're enjoying having the pool to yourself. You're enjoying the stillness. And water energy is really important for you right now. So maybe swim if you can swim, or enjoy the shower. Really be present as you're in the shower and you feel the water, or the bath, or just drink a lot of water, or do the dishes and be very mindful of your hands in the water. Water element could be very magical for you. It may be the key ingredient that you are needing to incorporate in your manifestation. Okay. Then I got that you need to be a little bit easy on yourself at this time, and you've done what you should. So initially when I got this message, I wrote, you've done what you can. But then I felt like the can was not right. So I scratched it out. I canned the can. Sorry, I couldn't resist. And I put should. Okay, so you've done what you should. So it's not, there's a situation in your life perhaps where some of you are thinking, I could have done more, or I should have done more, or maybe there's more to do. And Spirit's saying that like you've done what you should do in the situation. Even if it doesn't feel complete, even if it doesn't feel closed, you need to explore these other pathways that are opening up right now. Okay, and then I had ask yourself, ... And I feel like Spirit is saying here, ask yourself, if you feel like you didn't do what you should, why? I don't know what this is about. It could be any aspect of your life. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, just disregard this, okay? It's just food for thought that Spirit's introducing for your own reflection. Because the more we reflect on these kinds of questions, did I do what I should or not? And why did I? Or what did I do? Or what could I do? You know, all of that stuff. When we ask those questions, we are cultivating an inner knowingness that brings us to a peace and a place of, I'm hearing something like internal dialogue of equilibrium, okay, that brings us balance in our life, in which we feel our power rise up within us to create the magic we see in our life. In other words, we can't introduce magic in its full potential without knowing ourselves first and what we're capable of. Okay, the magician needs to know the tools that he or she is working with before creating the actual magic. That's why they're laid out on the table before him or her. Okay, so this is about knowing yourself, and that's why you need to spend some time in the pool alone. Now, I also got something about gematria. That's about assigning values to letters to create meaning. So if you don't know about that, don't worry. It could be something specific for someone. I got the letters J, A, S, K, and Q. So let's get into your reading, Aries, and see where we go here. I do have to say, I love this energy that you have, that you're holding space for, that you're working with. And there's also something coming through about breathing, okay? Catching your breath, maybe you've been going really quickly with something, or you've been doing a lot. You need some time to catch your breath. Are you breathing? Eight right there, 8 pathways. Are you breathing? Like, of course you're breathing. You're alive. But I mean, have you been holding your breath? Do you notice that in this moment? Or are you spacious inside? Is your breath allowing open space to fill your body for opportunity and possibility? Or is it all contracted and constricted inside? So there's something about needing to focus on your breath. Perhaps you need to get something out, get something off your chest. We also live in a world around people who are operating largely in an ego space, and that whatever, that's its own thing. But Spirit wants to say something about it can be hard. There's that breath. It can be hard to feel like you'll be understood by others. So we tend to keep a lot bottled up inside, because there can be an idea of what's the point of even expressing this or saying this if it's not going to be received. So I'll just keep it in. And Spirit's saying you can release that energy. Maybe you could talk to someone, or maybe just with yourself, or give it to Spirit, but it's like maybe exhale that energy out. You're holding on to something. Release something in your body, it feels. Release something in your body, some energy. Okay, let's see for Aries. Wow. What energy is supporting Aries? Spirit. Gratitude, appreciative. Beautiful. Well, when we have gratitude for our life experience, for the things that we know, for the present moment, for the people in our lives, for the unknown future, the mysteries of life, when we have gratitude for having this human experience that we're having, this is when we can really begin the magic. Because when we feel ungrateful for our existence or whatever situations have unfolded, even if they've been difficult, we don't see the tools that they've provided us. We don't see all the energies we have at our disposal to manifest something, to transmute something, to create something. It's only when we're in a space of gratitude that we're able to recognize our resources and how much is available to us to create what we want. And Aries, you're there. And if you're not there, ask yourself why. Sometimes it's hard to step into the energy of gratitude because we feel like we haven't gotten justice for a situation that's unfolded in our life. But that sense of justice can only ever come within a reconciliation that happens within yourself. Even if you get some actual justice out in the real world, or you get legal justice, or there's some karmic retribution you witness, and you feel like that's justice, that can still not change how you feel inside about anything that's happened. It's only until we reconcile the energies within that are keeping us tormented or conflicted that we come to that place of equilibrium and gratitude. Okay, so be very grateful, as most of you are, I'm seeing, because it's increasing your capacity to create magic. And I also feel like Spirit is saying, remember, I heard, what magic have you created? Remember the magic you have created already in your life. For some of you, this is children you've created. I don't know, Spirit's showing me children. These are magic manifestations. It's a miracle. It's phenomenal. 12-12 to create life. What a skill. So for those of you who have created life, give yourself a pat on the back. That's a big deal. Okay? For others of you who have created life in other forms, your artistic stuff, your soul's development, traveling the world, meeting people, exchanging energies, nurturing animals, whatever it is that you do, Aries, I feel like you need to remember that you've already successfully created magic in your life. It's like, I'm hearing something about a resume of magic. You have a resume of magic. Devotion, indifferent, and passionate. This is the energy that's challenging you. This is supposed to be Frida Kahlo here. Maybe that's significant for you. Art for some of you. Again, some theme of being misunderstood is coming up here. Some of you might have had a difficult relationship or a tumultuous, passionate but tumultuous situationship of some sort. And Spirit is saying there is something in that energy that I'm hearing Rosicrucian. Okay, that seems to be off topic. There's roses here though. Maybe not. But there's something about that relationship that has allowed you to see with your heart in a more conscious way than you did before. Even if your heart was wounded, broken, it's now, it's like you've given eyes to your heart. I don't know how else to say that. So when you think about having an open heart, think about having an open third eye in your heart. Interesting. Seeing this red string here too. And that's been actually a little bit of a theme that's been coming up for me, red string. So maybe that's for someone, but what do people do with red string? Well, they wear it around their wrist to protect themselves. That's a tradition for some. So maybe there's something about knowing that you're protected as you devote yourself more and more to knowing yourself and to your magic. You are more and more protected. Okay, Spirit's protecting you as you do what you do. I'm also seeing someone tie it around their finger, so as like a red string around the finger, so as to not forget something. So perhaps some of you need to remember what you want to devote yourself to. Because in the challenge position with this keyword indifferent, Spirit is saying there's something that you might be a little bit indifferent towards, that it's like you're overlooking, or perhaps it's one of the 8th pathways that you're like, that's boring. That's too normie. I don't want to go down there. I don't want to do that thing. I don't know, but there seems to be something you need to access there. Some of you are going to travel somewhere hot. I don't know. It's coming through. This is probably a good thing. Or maybe it's you need to change your body temperature. It could be something like that. Even being in a sauna. Okay, so let's see Aries. Maybe this will help you breathe easier. Let's see, Spirit guys. What message do we want to communicate to Aries about this reading, about what's coming through? Do 2 more. The World fell out. Yeah, some of you are going to travel for sure. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Interesting. I feel like as I'm talking about these 8 pathways, and now we have 9 showing up here. Did I say the World? It's the 9 of Wands. That's interesting. Okay, maybe the World card is in your mind's eye, in your heart's eye. Okay, this idea of traveling, this idea of culmination, but it's just the beginning. It's not actually the end, because the World is a huge completion in a beautiful way. Okay, it's like you've learned all of the lessons of all of the major arcana, which is a big deal, right? And then you start over again, of course. But the 9 of Wands is like almost being at completion, but being exhausted. And we have an extra pathway showing up here. So perhaps there's one pathway that needs to be dropped so that you can invest and immerse yourself in these 8 pathways. And these 8 pathways may not be literal. You might not be able to like write them down on a piece of paper and figure out, okay, that's a pathway, that's a pathway. Maybe for some of you need to hold amethyst or be around amethyst or something about amethyst. It could be, these 8 pathways could be more of a metaphor. Okay. That said, there is something that I feel needs to be eliminated, or you need to drop, or you need to release, let go of, so that you can bring yourself back to life here, re-energize yourself, because something is exhausting you. Okay. So let's see what you don't see coming, Aries. What does Aries not see coming? The Devil. This looks like a donut. Maybe I'm hungry. I'm a Taurus. I could use a donut. All right. The Devil. Donut. Well, let me think about that for a second. Because nothing is by coincidence here. When I open this space, I allow everything to come through as a message, a sign, a symbol, a synchronicity. There's something about an invention, okay? Because I was just talking to someone about donuts last week or so, and we were talking about, in Canada, we have these things, Timbits. I think in the US they might call it donut holes, and we were talking about that. And anyways, the point here is that it's bringing that up to my memory. So there could be something for you. It doesn't have to be this, but there could be something for you about trying to find out why something was invented, or what was the purpose, or is it really a genius idea, or maybe it's not a genius idea. It's almost like you're trying to parse out something that you're pursuing, or something you're interested in, or something that someone else is interested in, and figuring out if it's actually worth your while, or if it's kind of shoddy in some way. Okay, that's for some. Others of you, there's clearly some kind of cycle with this Devil card that could be preventing you from exploring these different pathways. The Devil is what you don't see coming. Let's get a little bit further in on that. Yeah, let's use the Rosebud Tarot. I just got this deck and I'm loving it, the Rosebud Tarot. Oh yeah, Rosicrucian. Something about roses for sure coming up for you. The Devil. What's going on here with the Devil for what Aries doesn't see coming? Generosity of Earth. That is the Queen of Pentacles. You could be very focused on material security or producing concrete results. You know, maybe you're looking at the numbers of something, or very focused on the budget, or there's something that you are prioritizing over and above the unseen magic that you hold within. It's kind of like, okay, yeah, I can do all this breathing and I can appreciate I'm a magician and all this stuff, but what does that actually get me, Andy? Well, let's see. What does it get you? What's the opportunity? There could have also be, of course, an earth sign or somebody who has a very kind of stoic or staid or conservative or even matronly presence in your life who is causing some restriction. It's kind of like a mother energy in the shadow. Okay, let's see. What is the opportunity here for Aries? The 8 of Pentacles, your 8 pathways. Exactly. See, it's like you can work on each of these pathways. 222, could be seeing that. Get to work on something. Something about solo, rolling solo. Last one out of the pool. Be easy on yourself. Okay, tell me more about these 8 pathways, the 8 of Pentacles. Maybe there's something about doubling something, because the Magician has the 4 elements on his table in the tarot, and you're being presented with 8. And then also 19 came up. Okay, let's see. What is the 8 pathways? What are the 8 pathways? 8 of water. So now that's 16. So to get to 19, we're missing 3. Something about numbers is coming through here really strongly. Hold on. I know this might sound a little strange, but what's the 3 that we're missing here? 9. The 9 of fire. Oh, going back to the beginning. The 9 of fire, the 3 of fire. Yeah, okay, so Aries, there's definitely something you need to release. Something that's causing you exhaustion. Something you feel like you're climbing up a wall with. There's also something that you're really enjoying that you could be trying to integrate into something else that you're doing. It's like you're trying to cross-pollinate something, or bring 2 friend groups together, or introduce your new beau, I'm hearing, which I never say. Okay, your new boo, your new beau, I don't know, to like your family, but it's not time yet. Like you're trying to bring 2 different things together. I don't know what these are, okay? And it's not time yet, or it's just not meant to be. Not yet, at least. So you need to let something go. Something. You'll know what that is. Yeah, it's like you're saying goodbye to it here. Some of you, there's some Scorpio energy around you that's involved here. Okay. Yeah, I feel like it's maybe what you need to let go of is like a road not traveled, a path not taken, something that you feel like, oh, I could still pursue that, I could still go for that. But every time you start doing that or putting your energy there, you're just like, oh, I'm drained afterwards. Or you go see that person and you're like, oh my God, I just need to lay down for the rest of the day. That's a big indication that that's zapping your energy. It's not helping you. There's no growth in that moment, in that time, when you do something like that, or when you hang out with such person. Now, it doesn't mean that necessarily the person is an energy vampire. It could be, very well, could be. But it could just be that you're not listening to yourself in that moment. Maybe you love your family. You love spending time with them. But in this particular case, when you get invited to go somewhere, you don't want to go that day, but you force yourself to go because you feel like it's the right thing to do. This could be about anything, right? Or you take on that extra project because you just feel like it's the right thing to do, and it just drains you because you didn't listen to yourself. Okay, so there's something like that needs to be released big time. Let's see your advice, Aries. Your advice for Aries. Two of Swords. Yes, this is making a decision in a state of peace and stillness. I heard something about a pill. I don't know, maybe some of you are deciding about a certain medication, whether you want to continue taking it or take it at all. Eight of Swords at the bottom. I feel like many of you are really trying to eliminate some things. It's like, I can't have it all. I can't do this and I can't do that. But Spirit keeps saying you can explore all these pathways. Maybe you just need to get creative about it or reframe it in your mind about how you can go about doing such a thing. Spider webs. I know how some of you are going to take this, but I'm getting it. Spider webs could be like a good omen for you. Okay, like maybe you see them outside somewhere. You know, spiders are related to 8. But there's something about the intricacy and the meticulous, beautiful amount of detail and intuition that a spider uses to create that miraculous web that becomes so much more than just a home for them. It becomes their place in which they catch their manifestations, you know? So there's something about the idea of a web that could be a very positive omen for you. And think about when you see a beautiful spider web and, you know, it's just rained and it's glistening, like it's phenomenal. Okay, I'm not saying you need to like cozy up with a spider and tuck it under the sheets with you, okay? But there's something about having gratitude towards the spider web. I don't know what that means for everyone, but that's what I just said. Okay, so let's keep going. Tell me more about this decision for the advice. Tell me more about this decision for the advice. 7 of Swords and the 6 of Swords. A lot of sword energy. There's someone in your life, Aries, who just wants to sit around and do nothing. Okay, maybe that's a metaphor, or maybe it's like literally they're kind of a couch potato, or they just don't want to do anything. They're happy to just have a lot to say, but not do anything about it. They could think they're clever as well. And I feel as though even though you need that downtime too once in a while, it's starting to aggravate you at some level that somebody can't take action on their words or they don't do what they say. You know, it's kind of like, bro, what's your problem? Or sis, what's your problem? Like, just do the thing that you say you want to do. Or we should go have fun together, but you're not doing it. And there's a frustration. It could even be a family member that you just are watching kind of deteriorate and not use their magic. Okay, and I feel like Spirit is saying here that everybody has their own path, they have their own lessons, and they have their own reasons for whatever it is they do. Some of those reasons are conscious, and some of those reasons are not. Some of those reasons why people choose to do what they do or not do what they do come from wounds, deep wounds. They could even be trauma responses that they're unaware of. Perhaps this person doesn't feel safe to go out into the world for whatever reason. Okay? So I feel like Spirit is saying, don't allow someone else's problems or inactivity or lack of ambition or whatever this is for you interfere with your vision of what you want to do and where you want to go. Some of you just need more, well, it's like I'm hearing pep in your step. It's like you need to be in an environment where there's more going on. Perhaps you've been spending a lot of time secluded in solitude, and Spirit's saying you don't need to be out in the middle of a lake all alone, surrounded just by the birds and the bees and no other human contact. You can be in a pool where maybe you have some alone time once in a while, but other people can join you too when you're ready for it. You know, it's that kind of thing. It's like you need more contact, I feel. I also feel like for those of you who are dealing with a love wound on some level, Spirit's saying there's so many people out there who would love to connect with you and who would share the same vision as you. But first you have to know what your own vision is in order to know if you're compatible with someone else. Don't look for your vision in another. Look for it within yourself and then see that vision. Recognize that vision as a resonance when you meet someone, that they are resonating with what you already know about yourself. Okay, there's something like that going on. If somebody's lied to you as well, and you're still kind of holding on to that, there's some deception, trickery, that kind of shit. That can be really hard to release. However, Spirit is saying that think about, ask yourself, ask yourself what holding on to that energy does to you. And maybe it is serving you in some way, and maybe it's not. You need to decide what you want to do with that feeling for those of you that this is resonating with. Some of you are saying you don't care that so-and-so's a whatever. But that could just not be true. Okay, this indifference could be a little bit of a front. Not for all, for some. And you just need to address it. You need to think about it, reflect. See what you want to do about those feelings that you have. Okay? Think about it for a while. We have a tendency as humans to try to escape painful feelings. I mean, it's a part of our survival mechanism. You know, when we feel pain, we think our life is over, because that pain response tells us something's wrong. So we do anything we can to get away from it. But a lot of the times we just need to face that pain and see that our life isn't over, that we aren't under some existential threat, that we're okay. We can just face the pain and heal it ourselves, okay? So that's for someone. So I'm going to see what's going to manifest in the next 3 months for you, Aries, and then I'm going to go into an extended reading. In the extended, we're going to go a layer deeper into this message. In the extended, I just see what comes out and just follow through the thread that we've been following in this reading. The link for that is in the description box below. But if that doesn't sound good to you, you don't like that idea, you're like, oh my God, I'm going to miss the entire message now because there's an extended. No. Just trust that you received all that you needed to right here, right now. Okay, Aries. What's going to manifest in the next 3 months for Aries? I feel like there's so many beautiful things on these 8 paths. Maybe we didn't give you all the guidance that we needed. Maybe not. Hold on a second. I just feel like that all of a sudden. maybe we need a little bit more guidance about whatever's going on in Aries life and wherever your Aries placement is. What's the guidance? The crossing, initiation. Ooh. Let's see. Exciting. Rite of passage. You have come to stand on one side of the river. The opposite bank leads into the darkness of the eternal cave. This card always kind of confused me because in the book, the way they describe the imagery is not what you see on the card. That could be a message there for someone. Maybe there's a little bit of a disconnect between what you're envisioning and what you're saying to yourself about something. Or maybe you can bridge those two, even if others think you can't. I don't know. Hold on. Let's keep going. This is a place where time is forgotten and the seasons cease their dance and stand still as if in temporary repose. You must cross the river now, honoring and respecting this transition, for it's time to say goodbye to your old ways of navigating your world. Don't be afraid. You've come to the edge of the river because you're ready. Well, I am seeing that you're on the edge of a river or a lake right here. You're ready to let go of what doesn't serve you and all the ways in which you've kept yourself from truly living. Intimacy requires vulnerability and truth. Can you strip away the masks and the barriers of false strength to discover what you're really made of? Step in the boat waiting for you. Let it carry you into the cave where the shadows are waiting to be illuminated so you can be born again into the world without denial or artifice. Making the crossing is a beautiful, powerful act of the highest love. So I feel like Spirit is saying it's time to really use that magic you have. To really get that thing going. To know that anything that's in your mind is possible. I mean, you kind of got to work with the laws of reality in the world we live in. But the laws of reality are pretty flexible as they are. So whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest, Spirit is saying, like, you got to take that first step. You got to get the ball rolling, and you don't have to forego anything else in order to get something that you desire, okay? There's something about you can have a lot more than you think you can. So let's see what's going to manifest in the next 3 months for Aries. We have the Three of Wands, the Three of Swords, and the Star. Oh, how beautiful. In the next 3 months, you are going to overcome some kind of heartbreak that you've been working through, Three of Swords. And you're going to prioritize your vision. You're going to spread your wings and continue to move towards your destined path. And I am seeing that there are 7 flowers here. It's a 7-pointed star. But really there are 8 paths here because we have the middle space too, the middle path. So even though we're only seeing these 7 flowers, this is the 8 paths. The 8th being equilibrium, the 8th being balance, the 8th being the path of inner truth, wisdom, soul journey. And then also going on these paths outside of yourself too. Different career choices, creative choices, love choices, and so forth. And look at this turn up. You're turning up for yourself despite the wounds, despite the heartbreak. It's like you're pulling up this turnip from the garden and you're chucking it away. You're releasing it. I don't need this anymore. This is done and over with. And when you uproot that turnip, the Three of Swords, you allow all these other paths to flourish. This is beautiful, Aries. So I do see in the next 3 months that whatever you're dreaming about, whatever you're wanting to unfold in your life, you have the big, big, big opportunity to see it come to light, to see the beginning of it start to unfold, and to see that you have all these opportunities. And maybe all this reading, you're like, I can only think of 7 things. What do you mean 8? Well, the 8 is you. The 8 is you. All right, Aries, I'm going to go into the extended. I hope that helped. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.